Hello, my name is John Crone. I'm an attorney with CPC Law, and today I'm joined by attorney Charles Castellon. Charles, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we can expect, a homeowner can expect, if they have fallen behind on their mortgage payments?
Well, if someone falls behind, the first thing to think of is don't panic. This is a very common misconception that things move quickly and someone can be put out of their home with very little effort if they fall behind on their mortgage payments. That's not the case at all. The reason is that Florida is what's known as a judicial state, where there are a lot of laws and protections in place, including the whole legal process where a lender has to follow certain procedures, including filing a lawsuit in the court, a foreclosure case, serving the papers on the homeowner, and there's an opportunity to respond.
Okay. I guess the follow-up natural question is, what happens when the homeowner actually does receive a lawsuit?
Well, what's important to know at that point is that now it's in the legal stage. Now the matter is in court, and it's very likely that leading up to that filing of the case that the borrower would have had a lot of communications with the lender. There would have been a lot of phone calls, letters back and forth, threats to foreclose. So right now it's a different game. Right now it's in the legal system and there are certain procedures that need to be followed, including the fact that a homeowner has to respond to the court case, to the complaint filed and served against them, and they have to respond within 20 days or they lose their rights.
Okay, so if I get the phone calls, or I get the actual foreclosure complaint and bury my head and don't do anything about it, that's going to have some negative consequences?
Well, yeah. Now in Florida, especially 2013, there was a new foreclosure statute passed. It's called the expedited foreclosure law, where there are certain things that the lender could do to move the case along more quickly. So not responding is absolutely the worst thing they could do, and also not being lulled into the sense of security where simply continuing conversation and a dialogue with the lender about resolving things is going to help them in court. It actually won't help them in court at all. The lender's attorney is going to have marching orders to go ahead and move the case forward and try to close it out, and then they move on to the next case. So the absolute worst thing to do is nothing. The next worst thing to do is to file something on your own as a borrower. Just write out some response to the complaint and file it, because what the borrower really needs to do is actually defend the case, is raise legal issues to defend the case, whether they want to keep the home or get out of the mortgage and get out of the property. Those are two different strategies that they can employ, but the main thing is to know that once it reaches that stage of being in court, the time for talk has long passed, and now it's a matter of defending the case to be able to achieve whatever the borrower wants to do.
Understood. So if I'm understanding you correctly, by not retaining an attorney and responding appropriately, you're really limiting your options as a homeowner by not retaining an attorney.
Well, and yeah, that's a true statement, but a homeowner who wants to fight back and just do something to avoid being foreclosed upon, there are plenty of homeowners who file papers on their own. They just need to do some due diligence and some homework to know what to say. Simply writing out a letter saying, "I'm sorry, I'm trying to work out with my lender, I've been unemployed," or what we call a hardship letter, which is something that is often submitted to the lender when you're asking for a short sale or a loan modification or some kind of relief. Writing what we know as a hardship letter to file with the court is not going to be effective because the court system is pretty cold-hearted and just looking at the legal issues involved in the case. But another thing that the homeowner really needs to be aware of is the need to figure out what strategy they want to employ. And this comes down to whether they want a stay strategy to keep the home, which would be through a loan modification most commonly, or an exit strategy to just get out of the home and mortgage, which is most commonly a short sale.
Excellent. Well, I definitely appreciate that information. This has been a brief discussion of some of the common issues that homeowners face when they fall behind on their mortgage payments. You can find more information on our blog at cpclaw.net, and if you have any questions for myself or Charles, contact us with the information we've listed below. Thank you.